Uh,
Showtime!
yeah. How are you today, young lady?
I am doing wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm fair to middling. Can't complain. Dude, all so busy. So, and no one in business wants to hear anybody complain about how busy they are, right? In business, like that is just that's what we're here for. Being too busy, being able to pick and choose and refer to others. And so that's you. You make it look easy, but you don't have a second to spare, right? You have been just at it.
I
Don't be
have
shy now.
been. I won't lie to you, but that could also do that has a lot to do with time management, my ability to be disciplined with my time management, and then also I have a tendency to drift off when I get like excited about a minute topic and I'll just squirrel off. So, yeah, I'm busy, but
Right.
let's be honest. If I really calculated it, I would probably, went down the rabbit hole more often than I probably should have.
Well, let me split the humble wagon here, right? So you're doing a lot of business now, and that's the fun part. You and again, you're doing it your way on your terms. It's not one way or the other. You don't have to have a gazillion followers all the time. Could it help? Yeah, but it doesn't have to be. Oh, look, Johanna. Oh my goodness, I feel like Christmas time. Thank you, Johanna and Randy House of the House of Paint and Paper Plates. I know I'm jumping ahead, but they excite me. Um, man, I love seeing these people. This is why we do what we do. We do this because, gosh, man, so many people, and myself included, Sia, and yourself, everybody. We've been told we're not good enough, not smart enough. You know that we're only good enough to deliver pizzas, whatever the hell it is. And by God, that is not the case, man. Um, People can do things, and that's why I'm excited about our future guest here in a little bit. Because this guy, just like you, I mean, you guys are very similar, man. Y'all forged your own path and did what very few people are willing to do. And it's funny because I'm kind of behind y'all. I mean, I'm not too far behind, but I'm at that stage where I'm like, oh yeah, dude, they romanticize entrepreneurship. This shit is awful. Like it is really
I don't
bad.
know. I don't know of one person that would ever say they romanticize
They
entrepreneurship.
do. No, they do. They do. Okay, so the next time you hear some dude from rags to riches talk in his suit and he's talking about his glory days and how hard it was, it's like, ooh, it's like a movie. But somebody made the comment. I like to see that guy as he was real time doing it. And that's what this show is about, man. You're seeing me, Sia, Raquel, we're hitting next levels. You're seeing us post about it. This is the fun part. You know, oh, it's so great. No, I don't have the faith that I'm gonna make it every day. Sometimes I wanna unravel every day, and I talk about it not to get attention or to look weak. I talk about it because this is the real-time chronicles that people need to see. They need to see average people doing extraordinary things, man, and that's encouraging. So if you agree, put that in the comments. If you disagree, well, go ahead and put it in the comments. I have thick skin, man. I like debate. So you feel like we wanna roll the intro, get this show rolling? You think enough people are here now?
I think so. I say let's kick this off, my friend.
Yes, ma'am. Let's do it. I'm so pumped. Let's go.
All right.
Roll it.
Are you looking to grow your business and your mindset alongside a fun and awesome pack? Grab a chair and your favorite beverage and join Mike Ashebrainer, the business mechanic, and his win-win network for the Hounds of Business Happy Hour.
Goodness gracious. Hey, the wildland fire smoke has hit Kentucky today. So
Ooh.
that was fun. Yeah, dude. Even my hungry little dog was like, "Nah, I'm gonna hang inside today." But I
Mm.
I don't I don't like it inside. So
It's
who do we have?
it's over 100 here in Texas, just so you know, and it's going to be over 100 for the rest of the week. So yeah, we're fine with staying indoors.
Man, yeah, dude. I live outside. I love it outside. I don't care. I got a little fan. I just walk around like a little fan. I need a beanie. I can just take my hat off, put a little beanie fan right here. Oh shoot. So, as you know, we can't stop being excited about people in the hounds because and outside the hounds, if you're good people, you should already be in the hounds. It's not a prison. You can come and go, right? The door's unlocked. Um, but I tell you what, it's just amazing. Like I was talking about earlier before the intro. We have people that are doing it real time. It's nothing like it's like seeing Bill Gates go through all the crap before he was Bill Gates. Like that's the kind of thing that excites me. Seeing people real time form relationships. And in 20 years from now or 5 years from now, people will be like reading our books and seeing this. And this is the special part. This is how it starts. You can say, I know this guy. I know Sia before she became Sia, right? And by the way, I don't even know why you have a last name. You're
Oh my
already
god.
like Prince.
What I
So
think is
sorry, go ahead.
funny, when you try to mock my voice, you're still not even hitting my pitch. Like you still
I know. You're my little man Texan CEO of a oil company. Yeah. So, but again, I just respect you. I tease you all the time, but I respect you, and I couldn't do what I do. Everybody that watches the show knows I couldn't do this without you. So, I want to push up people and make sure that the folks know there's some awesome things going on out here. And please don't be shy. Please tap into this stuff. This is about you. Okay. So go ahead, roll whatever first thing we're going to talk about. But I want people out there to tap into this. Don't be shy. Don't say, "Well, I'm not good," and all that stuff. Jump on it. All right, jump on every opportunity you can. That's my advice for you. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, well, look at me. I've been here 9 months. Like I'm figuring it out slowly but surely, right? But you can do it. So what we got?
All right, my friend, let's go with
Yeah.
this.
So I'm going to do this. I think they have maybe about 10 to 12. They've got a few days for the cutoff. So go to Constance Leland, Dr. Constance Leland, CJ. Go to her and Nicole and Guy Galindo. So Nick, go check out their post and profile events. They post about it all the time. And I've been pointing people back to this because this is your time to shine. All right. They have platforms. They have, YouTube. CJ's got a lot of people watching her, a lot of different places. This is your time to learn and grow and network and be seen. How can you do business? Could you imagine, getting a painting of Picasso in a cave with the lights off? What's the point of even painting a thing, right? Get yourself visible. These ladies are all about pushing and leveling people up. So go to their website or go to their LinkedIn page. I'm gonna do it. I found out. I said, "Hey, you got some more spots open?" I'm like, "Shoot, why not?" Right? I didn't want to take someone else's spot, but now that I got it, I'm gonna take it because I want to be seen. I want to help more people. Who doesn't, right? So go to either one of their pages. It's got to be in the first post or two. Go check their stuff. Show them support. Tag somebody. If you don't want to be that person, go tag someone you think that should be that person. Go motivate someone else. Say, hey, how about you, Billy? Right? Tag somebody that you see that could be. I'm going to do that. I got some people that I think are being shy who need to put themselves out there because I believe in them. All right, so I'm going to go tag them and say, hey, you need to do this. And all it is it's like what 5 or 6 questions in a short video. You got make the time to get it done. All right. So CJ, we appreciate you. You ladies are amazing hounds, amazing people, and I love to see good things happening. Keep on with it.
All right. So our next, speaking of amazing ladies,
Oh yeah. So what time is this Saturday? This Saturday. What time is
11 a.m., right?
it? Is
Or
that
10 a.m.
Eastern?
I'm gonna get corrected on 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So 12
Cent-
p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay. 9
Oh
Pacific.
wait,
Okay.
9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, so you go calibrate your sundial, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell the folks. So it's 12 Eastern and 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. Pacific because no one follows Central. Sorry, see ya. But hey, check Raquel's show out. I like the fact that we don't disclose it because there's never a bad show. It just gets better and better and better. I love it. I look forward to it. And I mean, lots of people are showing up to this. And here's the key: my show, Raquel's show, people do business by networking, right? They network, they comment, they make connections, they follow each other in the comments, and they're doing business. And if you're saying, well, I'm not doing business, well, then go say hi to people, engage. Don't be shy here, man. Shout out, ask a question in the comments, make comments to other comments. That's worth a couple viral posts, guys. I'm telling you. This is the magic. Oh, my impressions stink. You're here, make the most of it, right? So Raquel, we love her to death. She's all about pushing people up, and I can't give it away, but she is working on some amazing things. She is going to be helping a lot of more people. So just look, go support her. It'd be silly not to. She is the real deal. So love you. Thank you for your support, Raquel. She's back there pushing buttons right now while she's doing mommy task and all kind of stuff. So Raquel, you have changed so many lives in just a short amount of time by pushing people, elevating them. Thank you so much. You embody what the Hounds is about, man. Pushing people up, helping people, and especially entrepreneurs hit new heights, get unstuck, and hit whatever level they want. All right.
Absolutely. So, just want to do one addition. I just noticed Lachelle just added. So, by all means, guys, she is part of our Hounds community, and I was not aware of this. So, she's going to be in California for a book signing. City of Industry. I know that area very well. This Friday at 6:30 p.m. PST. So, guys, anyone that's in California and Southern California, if you are interested in meeting up with America's Supermom, and when we're saying Supermom, we're not joking. She's got 15 kids plus her husband. So a lot of fun and amazing stories that she has to share with her wisdom. So guys, hit her up 6:30 Pacific Standard Time in the City of Industry book signing. You guys check it out.
Oh,
So I
man,
saw I
love
saw that up.
Supermom. Supermom put me so after you, put me on your show to get me to, like, to how to be a decent guest, Supermom, that was my first one, and that man, we could talk about that forever, I won't, but that's the one where Ronald McDonald and gang kicked me out of the parking lot, well, when I was on her show going to Atlanta. So, yeah, she has the Atlanta Falcons. She took her life story, and all her struggling and all the things she overcome, and her passion is to help others not have to go through that much pain for that amount of time. Everything this lady does is practical, down to earth, and she tackles hard issues. You got to check out her page, check out her profile, her YouTube channels. She gets up at 5, right? Because she has a bunch of people in the house. So she gets up at 5 to bring that value to you. And I love listening to it. So, guys, go check her out. Thank you, Sia, for bringing that up.
No
Oh,
problem.
hey, this lady, all right. This lady, everybody knows the story. This lady, Stephanie Delfonso, you know, she hypnotist, and so immediately my redneck self was like, "Oh, no," like Bugs Bunny cartoons and all that, right, when I first met her, but anybody knows me knows that I can be anxious and, worried real quick, right? So that's not a good thing. I love this lady's, she's so real. She's helped me out. I've done the tactics. Some of her techniques, yeah, they look silly with the breathing thing, but they work. You know what looks sillier than doing breathing techniques with your fingers? Run around stressed out, making everybody mad and not like you, right? So that's the kind of 2 options I look at here. She is finally, I've been on her about it. She's doing her coaching program is coming out. Guys, scan this, check it out. Um, this lady, man, I'm telling you, I just love her to death. She's got a heart of gold. And I don't say it lightly. Okay. I don't say stuff I don't mean. So go check her out. You won't be sorry. I'm not going to spoil the details. Go to her post, give her love, give her comments, push her up. So thank you, Stephanie, for finally doing this. And she's got a book. This book, honestly, you got to get this book. I mean, she should charge more for this thing, but what do I know? Um, so chock full of practical tips. You got to do it. All right. So scan this QR code, go check out Stephanie Delfonso. Somebody will put it in the chat so you can go check out her profile. But we appreciate you. She has helped me out through some really tough times, man. I just told you, entrepreneurship, woo, damn, it's tough. So,
Exactly.
especially, yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's like transforming from a cat to a dog or something. And so these things, absolutely, it worked on my dog. She gave me a technique that not just worked on my kids, but it worked on my hyperactive dog. And I asked her, I was like, "Did you know it worked on animals, or was that just me figuring it out?" She said, "No, it works on pretty much anything." So if it worked on the dog, enough said. All right. And last but
So
not least,
Just to
go ahead.
just to
Sorry.
clarify, for those that don't understand what QR codes are, it's that wonderful little black and white thing you see there, and you just put your camera to it. Your camera will recognize that QR code, and it will pop up a window, and that's how you can click and get access to it. So, for those of you
Okay.
that are not familiar, that's what our QR code is. We will pull that up again in the future.
If I finally have one guy living down the street that's watching my show, that's what a QR code. Come over and I'll teach you how it works. All right.
All right.
So
Well,
go
speaking of
ahead.
being kind,
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, speaking of kind, is community. So one of the things here that we're really big on with the Hounds is the fact that there's so many people who actually create their own content and they are putting themselves up and out there, and we have nothing but love and support for that. So what we do is we've gathered together all of the community members, all their live streams, all their master classes, events, whatever you have it, and we've thrown it up into a community event that anyone and everyone on LinkedIn, if you're looking for great content, figure out what you want to do, we've got it all pulled together for you. And I personally vouch for them because they're on my company's website, Brilliant Bee Media. So all it is, guys, is go to brilliantbeemedia.com/events. You can see everyone in real time when they're going live, when they're doing their audio room, all that good stuff. So highly, highly, highly encourage you guys to check it out. This is the place to go for all things LinkedIn and sometimes other areas, but this is predominantly a LinkedIn calendar of events. The other thing too is, well, wait a minute. So why do we care about all this good stuff? Is the Lighthouse community members. Now, I only branded that Lighthouse community members because the people that are highlighted here have been personally curated by myself. But let's be honest, majority are Hounds members that Mike has personally curated. So I've trusted a lot of the folks that Mike has vetted out, quite frankly, that are willing to work and collaborate to empower each other to grow. Our big philosophy here is all ships rise with the tide, or as I like to say, we all have our inner light. Let's all Care Bear Power Stayer together and get a brilliant beam of light together. So check that out, guys. I strongly encourage, if there's things that I actually don't do as a business, I'm all for encouraging folks to check out what other people can do to help you. Not everyone's going to work with everyone happily. So figure out what works for you. So we're big on community connection and sharing the wealth and growth together.
Absolutely. And I think the last thing we have is that silly little video. But I mean, I didn't plan that video. Do we have that, or we want to just what do you want to
We
do?
have it, my friend. Let's play it. Actually, no, if you want
Yeah.
to, do you want to let's bring on Josh so he too can laugh in real
Yeah.
time of your awesomeness.
There you go. My goofiness. Let's call it what it is.
I
All
It's
right. So
awesomeness. So let's bring Josh on.
yeah, Josh, how are you? How are you, buddy?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Oh
Guys,
man, it's
I've
good.
been over here laughing this whole time, and Raquel's like, "Hey, go participate in the comments," and I realized I can't do that between two platforms. I'm way too ADD for that.
Well,
So,
apparently I missed my cue. I'm sorry. Hold on, quick sec. Mike, can you say one more time? Welcome Josh to the show.
Welcome to the show, Josh. Did you hear that? It doesn't sound like a frog in my end. It sounds like ham radio.
guys,
Did you hear
please.
that? All right. So
You want to hear my real-time
Josh.
giggle? Is that what I heard? Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
All
Mike.
right. So I can say it. No. Don't be sorry. I was going to say, man, like, we haven't got the opportunity to really talk. We met with Tanya Eberhardt and
Uh-huh.
Brand Face. And
Awesome.
man,
Go higher.
dude, birds of a feather really need to flock together. All I had to do was see you in the same room for 5 seconds and go, yeah, all right. Like you and Johnny B. Um, it's easy. It's great to have folks that are just highly vetted and likable. And here's what I thought was great about y'all. This is a common theme amongst all hounds. Like if I just bumped into you guys, I would never know how hard you worked and how successful you become.
Right.
And that thrills me to death. Like when I met Michael Carr and Tanya, right? I'm like, remember what I said? They gave me permission, I think, to say it. I was like, man, those two are like me. We're just a couple Gucci purses or outhouses wrapped in Gucci purses, man. Like it was just like it took me a while to realize that holy cow, they're successful people and they worked hard for that and they give back like crazy, man. And it's just like all the stuff I heard growing up about success, they debunk it. They are good people who worked hard, paid the price. And that's you, man, right? I didn't
Thanks.
miss
I
nothing.
appreciate that. Yeah, it's funny you say like running into you at the grocery store. Literally, the other day I was my wife needed something from the grocery store, and I was like craving ice cream. I was in this big baggy t-shirt, shorts. I had my flip flops on. I was standing in line, and you know when you have like the Grinch belly going on, you know what I'm talking about, where you're like turned to the side, and I had my belly like sticking out, holding 2 tubs of ice cream. This guy walks up, you're the Lucky Titan guy. And I was like, Yeah. Most uncomfortable moment of my life, man. I was like, yeah, that's this slob here. Yeah, that's me. That's me, buddy.
Oh man, I
Dude.
love that. Well, you know what's
Dude.
weird about like the whole podcasting is that recognition. Like it's weird because you're just like, I'm just recording my voice. Like we're just having a conversation.
You forget there's people on the other end a lot of times. But I want to see this video. I mean, you brought me on to watch a cool video. I want to see this.
Okay.
Mike cracks me up, so I'm ready for this.
All right. Let me go ahead and play this video. It is something that Mike requested, and I have to say kudos to your videographer, sir. I think you have a future Hollywood person here.
It's finally here.
So.
All right, let's see. See if I can work it. Hopefully it has instructions. There it is. Oh, that's nice. I won the Father's Day, and I got a note. Thank you, Janice, for saying that. No, this cannot steal it.
It's one, two.
You can't steal it.
It's one, two. Uh-oh. There's a little tiny waffle.
It is.
What are you doing? What are you doing,
Put the
Dad?
pillow in the tosser.
What are you doing?
Probably think I have a hay pillow I made myself. No, you don't like that.
I do.
You can't like this. Because then I'll never see it again. Now it makes sense. That's nice. No. Never mind. It's not nice. Because y'all like this.
Yep.
I gotta get me one of those, man.
Oh, you need it.
I mean, have you guys seen the one? There's like this new thing on Kickstarter where it's like a airplane strap, but it's like it covers your eyes and it sticks you to the back of the seat so your head doesn't bob. I totally want to buy one of those because those stupid neck pillows on airplanes do not work.
Well, so that's the whole thing about this particular Taussie brand's pillowcase is the fact that you can actually put it over and it's all inclusive and part of it. Like I use it when I travel. And I swear by it. So by the way, see that wonderful blue box, that teal blue? That's Taussie brand. So Janice Shakrian is actually another Hound member. So she's patented. And
I'll start toting her instead of somebody else. I don't even know what the other brand is, but
oh no, yeah, you do Taussie now because you know why? There's a pillowcase promo code, Hounds. So if anyone buys a Taussie pillowcase, leverage the Hounds promo code. You will get a discount. And so there you go. Love Janice and all her success. So guys, we'll just leave that up there for a second. I'll just cover my face for a little bit there. Mike.
Dude. Hey, I got you two super pros, man. Y'all are all about this, and
it's still your show.
It is. I should wake up and do it. So yeah. So first of all, both y'all, and Sia, you're not really producing as much as you're a part of this because anytime we talk about tech and podcasts, I don't have no business to being alone. Let's be honest. And I don't care. People go, well, don't put yourself down. I'm just calling it like it is. I got a lot of positive qualities, and tech is not one of them. But here's my superpower. I was able to get this, I can say it, badass lady to help me do it because I sure as hell can't do it. And again, that's why all boats rise. So Josh, tell us about Pantheon FM. What is it? Where are you at with it?
Yeah, so I mean, Pantheon FM is a brainchild, right? So it's a company that we've been building for near on a decade. I've had many different iterations of services. Whew, this is like tripping me out. I can't watch myself, guys. You're throwing me all over the screen.
You put post-it notes. Put post-it notes.
I know. So I have to the problem is I have a 50-inch TV behind my camera, and that's how I'm seeing my face. So I'm like,
oh wow.
Yeah, no, that's
see pimples.
Raquel, put them on like the full screen. Then let's do it. Let's just
exactly. Yeah, I can stare right at my face.
There we go.
I ain't scared. Come at me.
That's a lot of Josh. Go ahead.
So Pantheon FM. Just to give it like a really, really clear answer of who we are, what we do. Basically, it's a lead generation company, but we leverage podcasts to get in the doors with very, very successful people. I basically started this company off of me having a really failed brand, ended up realizing, gosh, I've got to figure out this whole lead gen shenanigans. Figured it out by starting a podcast. I launched a show, started inviting people on. Within 2 weeks, I had 6 billionaires come on my show, and I went, I think I figured it out. Because a couple of those we ended up doing business with. And I was like, man, this is how it should be. This is how business should be. It shouldn't be this difficult. So Our entire company's built. We have a bunch of information products. We give a bunch of this away for free. We give the method away. Then we have a mastermind that basically we meet to implement on that strategy. So that's us in a nutshell.
Wow. Okay.
You want me to brag a little bit? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, well, hey, give credit where it's due, man. It's like, when I see somebody at the Olympics win a gold medal, they can brag. They earned that, man. They paid 4 years of hell for that. So what this is one of the things that so you're much more than just a guy who works, right? So you built this business, you built it, and a lot of people in the comments, man. So a lot of people have done that. So it's all too easy right now to say, "Hey, I'm done." Right? Like I'm good. I've got what I got. I can just live on. But not you. So what is it that keeps you going? Why are you not done yet? What's the next level for you in your business?
It's actually really funny. I'm glad you asked this question because Raquel asked me this right before we hopped in. She's like, Josh, what motivates you? Like, what's that thing like gets you out of bed in the morning? And my wife is probably going to see this, and she knows this because we've had this conversation. It's actually not the typical kosher answers of like God, my family, even though those are so important to me. If I'm feeling lazy, that's not going to get me out of bed in the morning. There's a really interesting point, and everybody has a different income level where they say, okay, when I hit this income level, everything will be okay. And for me, that was $100,000. That's all I had to make. And truthfully, if that's all I made till the day I died, I'd be happy from a personal consumption standpoint. Obviously, I have wants. I want more expensive things here or there, but I don't need it. And for me, like what I had to start figuring out for myself was what actually motivates me. And for me, it's momentum. Momentum. If things are moving, that gets me excited. Like if you have something big that you're doing, if you want to like get into my world and you want to get Josh's time, do something big, do something different. It gets me so dang excited. And I was explaining this because literally just yesterday, my team, there were a couple of like poor decisions made in the company based on a time perspective. And the momentum went like, just like stopped. I'm trying to do the screeching brakes. That was a horrible, but the screeching brakes stopped and it like slowed everything down for the day. And I was like, oh, there's like nothing that makes me more upset than loss of momentum, right? Because it's really hard to get the momentum back, right? But momentum is what gets me really excited. I could honestly tell you legacy and leaving something behind is really, really important to me, but I love experiencing the journey when there's momentum. So my entire life and my company and everything that we do is built around leveraging momentum. So that's really what we run for. If that makes sense.
No, it makes complete sense. In fact, you kind of gave me permission, Josh. I love what you just said there, man. It seriously, I lost momentum around February after making the leap of faith. Like I just jumped out of the nest like a baby bird, and it was, and it felt like I crashed on my ass.
Yeah.
Right. In February, 2 months later, and I just didn't think that was an okay reason. Like like you said earlier, like my family motivates me, and it does. But man, that I realized that too. So thank you for giving me permission to say, hey, the momentum does drive me. Like today, I've been so excited because I feel like I got direction. I know where to go. So I know you can't say a whole lot because I know you're like a mad scientist creating a lot of new stuff. But have you? And I want to bring Sia in on this because I think you might have different takes, avenues where you all come from. So have you been in entrepreneurship your whole life? Did you have like, forgive me, like people would ask me, a real job or work for somebody, or have you just always been an entrepreneurial type of guy? Like, tell us.
Well, and Sia, you're welcome to answer this too, but I would just tell you guys that like I was never a good employee because like truthfully, I'm kind of a lazy guy. Like some people might disagree with that because of like my work ethic and what I do, but I cannot get motivated building somebody else's company. Like it just does not give me inspiration. And so it doesn't get me it doesn't get me up in the morning. But what I can tell you is I'm a fifth generation entrepreneur. But the last 2 generations really, really struggled. So I grew up in a very, very broke household. My father tried multiple different companies, built his most successful one in 2006, which just so happened to be a construction company. And so 2008, so we had 2 years of prosperity, and then he lost everything, absolutely everything.
Oh, wait.
And so for me, being able to see the ups and downs, that was something huge for me. But I was never, my dad never said, hey, when are you going to college? In fact, I didn't even know college was a thing until my junior year of high school. Because I got called into the career counselors or whatever they're on. Like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to start a business. And they're like, okay, yeah, but what job do you want? And I'm like, I'm going to start a business. Like I already have a business. Like I had companies in high school. Like my first company I started, I was 11, and it wasn't anything spectacular, but I was making pretty decent money at the time, because I knew, hey, I want to buy a bike, or I want to buy an Xbox, or whatever it is, right? Whatever kids want these days, right? And that for me was like that motivation. So I've never had that desire to get a job. And in fact, like with my son, I have every intention of helping him become a 6th generation entrepreneur. And because it just, anyways, it's awesome. Entrepreneurship's awesome. Like you said, it can suck, but it's way better than working for somebody.
Yeah, dude, you took the words out of my mouth, man. You were inspiring me like crazy, right? Because I spent 17 years doing stuff I didn't want to do because of fear and what people told me I'm supposed to do, which is to get a job, get a good degree. And that all left. What did that do? Get a job. I got 2 degrees, so I'm double right good.
Right.
And then I end up filing bankruptcy because the house I bought was jacked up, and I was unhappy as you could be, man.
Yep.
Mental health was not good. And it took me a long time. I wish I had that courage that you had, or to say, let's do it. So thank you for sharing that, because there's so many people in the audience, in the comments, that they may not admit it, and they don't have to admit it.
Yeah.
But it's real. Like,
Yeah.
everybody's saying you should, safety and security, man. But like, it's not my business. I'd rather die fighting for a dream and a lifestyle. Uh, then I get a job. I can always get a job, but I can't always build a business. Like, the time is now, right?
Right.
So, Sia, you came from corporate. I love to have you in here because obviously, Brilliant Beam Media, you produce our shows, all the great content. I ain't making that shit. You are. So you came from corporate, and I think that is and you're one of the few people I think has brought an advantage to entrepreneurship and small business building because of your corporate background. I see it as a crutch for a lot of folks. But so tell us about your journey, and it was recent. It's very, very recent. So tell us about your journey and the transition to being your business, because you've done a hell of a job.
Oh, well, thank you. So I would liken myself to be like I went on the accelerated path to entrepreneurship. So I'm 20 plus years in corporate tech sales. I left in 2017 and truthfully dicked around for about a year and a half. Not that way. I putzed around the world. I think that's the nicest way to put it. I putzed around the world for a year and a half. And I realized very quickly, apparently when you are living the corporate lifestyle, you have champagne tastes. And it wasn't until my business partner, future business partner, told me, yeah, but you also have zero budget. So after a while, she's like, you need to come home at some point and let's do business. And so it was just a very interesting journey as far as I didn't know what I wanted to do after I left corporate America. I had a massive, who am I talk with myself. I had no hobbies anymore. I didn't know what my passions were. And that for someone as fiery as I am, to not know what your passions are anymore, clearly you have some massive soul searching that needs to get done. And one of the things that I did in my path to enlightenment was do genealogy. And I did my boyfriend's family's genealogy the old school way, research. Okay, I cheated a little bit. I used ancestry.com to help me out, but still. But I found out very quickly your birth date and death date after the great grandparents level. After that, no one knows nothing about you. They don't know your personalities. They don't know who you are. They don't know you laughed, you cried, you stole a bunny and got tarred and feathered for it, or any of those amazing stories that, happen from our ancestors. And so what Josh had mentioned, legacy is huge as far as why I think a lot of people are interested in doing things like podcasting. But that's not the end all be all, right? There's got to be an additional, emphasis, or I'm sorry, fire in your belly, if you will. But for me to launch my podcasting business after 20 years in corporate America, largely was because for me, I had 7 people die in a 6-month time frame. And at that point, to me, it was just how do I give them life and tribute to them? And so that really encouraged me to help other people find their voices. But because of my tech background, I'm helping tech people find their voices, which is funnier to me because, now we're talking about AI and all that good stuff. It's like, wow, let's take out all the emotion of humanity and let's use AI for your content creation. But I digress. So, but
Hey,
my
let me cut
history.
you off real quick. Really, because I don't know if you can say it. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, Sia, but you got a couple tech shows that are insane. Dude, Josh, you got to check her. She's got a couple clients and they're fun. Like I'm watching a tech show, can't stop watching it. Like when's that happen? It doesn't happen if you're not a tech, like you love the next newest shiny object. But can we tell them what it is or no? But y'all can go check it out on her. You've done a great job making that's your superpower. See, you take stuff that usually drives people nuts who aren't in that industry, and you make it like fun and engaging. That's a hell
Well,
of a
thank
superpower.
Well, thank you for that. No, so well, look, so after having 7 people die on you, you learned out very quickly that life is too short for bullshit, right? Like seriously, all the dramas that we have in life, people's, trust me, put them in a small little box and compartmentalize, right? Because ultimately, what really matters to you in life, you will make it your priority, right? So, with that mentality, I approached some of my clients. So, I am the host of a show called Checkpoint Real Talk. It is predominantly a YouTube channel. It is a podcast as well, but Checkpoint Technology Software. If you guys are into cybersecurity, it is their show, and they just said, "Hey, Sia, you handle it. You be the host." And so, we are going to be having another episode. Last week's episode release was on Criminal Minds, and it's a reaction. It's a reaction show. So we take IT and cybersecurity professionals. We play scenes from either TV or how it's depicted in media, movies, etc., and they give commentary. For those that are on the nerdier side of life, imagine it being Mystery Science 3000. But for our generation, and or if you are really cool Gen X, it's kind of like Beavis and Butthead, when we watch the video episodes and all that good stuff. So anyway, check out Checkpoint Real Talk, and then tomorrow is our other Thursday show. It alternates, and it's called Chats Among Us, and that's with co-host myself, with Jonas Bull and Vicky Smolyar, and we literally talk about all things AI and bots. So Jonas is a polymath. He knows everything about everything, and he's a consultant. Does a lot of consulting around smart IT and a lot of future technologies for public sector. And then Vicky Smolyar is an IP lawyer, intellectual property lawyer. So you can see how the three of us kind of meshed and got together to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of all things AI and bot technologies.
Dude, I am not making this up, Josh. These two shows, like I was like, oh, I'll just put them on the background so Sia's happy with me while I'm working, right, and doing other stuff. And then I couldn't. I was like, this is great, man. This is fun. Like, you know, daggone. And whether you know what they're talking about or not. But the funny part is that Sia's never seen Criminal Minds. I don't know how the hell that happened. I'm gonna take her on a field trip or something.
I've never seen it either. It's gonna sound bad, but
well, that's because y'all are too busy building businesses, and I was over here working jobs I hated. That's what it was. So, hey, Josh, I want to segue back to you, man, because podcasting was really not. I mean, people listened to them a lot, right? Before COVID, people enjoyed them. There was a thing, and woohoo! But then after COVID, wow, everybody's a podcaster. So, what have you noticed? Because I know Sia is all over this topic. What have you noticed before, during, and after COVID in the world of podcasting? How's it affected your business and you?
Yeah, and so let me share a couple of things here. And see, I'd love to actually like go back and forth with you on some of the stuff that's going on in podcasting because it's really, really interesting. I actually don't really care what platform people use, first and foremost. Let me just kind of caveat that. It can be YouTube, it can be a podcast, it can be a blog, it can be whatever. I like throwing rocks at social media. I think it's stupid as a tool. Sorry, that's my very opinionated opinion. Anyways, but my point that I'm getting to here is that the platform does not matter. For me and my company, my podcast, I've never really focused on how many people are listening to my show. We were very blessed because we've been doing it long enough, and I started years and years and years ago. I hit top 5 on iTunes 4 different times, and people were watching the show, listening to the show, getting a lot of good feedback. But funny enough is I was not getting clients out of the deal. And what I can tell you is, for me, it doesn't mean I wasn't making money from the show. We've done over 25 million from my show now. And that's literally all that money has been generated from me interacting with the person who's sitting across the screen from me, or if we're sitting in person with each other. I have found podcasting is one of the easiest ways in the door with successful people. And then the conversations that we have, because if you listen to my show, it's pretty engaging. I wouldn't say it's the best show on the planet. I don't even push people that way because it's my networking tool. And all I do is ask the questions I genuinely want to know. So when I bring people on there, if I'm bringing somebody on who's a billionaire, I'm like, dude, okay, break down for me like your revenue strategy. I want to see how that works, right? And they'll break it down for me on camera or whatever. And some people are like, oh, that's boring, but I'm like, I don't care. It's for me. If you want to listen to it, great. If not, that's fine.
Hell yeah.
But what's interesting is that opportunity to sit down with somebody who's very, very successful. It gives you a chance to really see behind the curtain. And what you do here, Mike, right? Like it helps you humanize people and realize, I've had conversations with billionaires where they were having imposter syndrome. Like, Josh, who am I to launch this training program? I'm like, you've made a freaking $1 billion. Shut your mouth. Like that was going through my head, right? But I can't say that obviously because that's not kosher. But they're having those exact same concerns we are, right? I love that I'm on the show and I can say this, but it's like everybody poops, right? And
yes.
Like you just got to understand that like if you're a billionaire, it doesn't make them unapproachable. The only difference between you and somebody making a ton of money is who you're hanging around. I found it took one relationship to get me into the club with pretty much anybody I want to, right? We've gotten in with Warren Buffett. I've been able to sit down with Gary Vaynerchuk, some of these big name people, do business with a lot of these big name people. And it was one connection, right? And the podcast just is kind of that gateway tool that we use to get in and make relationships and break that trust barrier. So we're not like, hey, I want to take you to coffee and pick your brain and blah, 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 right? Stupid. Don't do that. Doesn't work, especially for successful people. But for me and my business, like the impact that podcasting has for me is that it is the gateway. I'm really curious because I think at some point in the next 5 to 7 years, it's going to stop being an easy way in the door. Because I think what people don't realize, billionaires have a golden toilet. That is an awesome comment, Stephen. I love that. There's actually anyways, I'm not going to go into that. Legitimately a solid gold toilet. I'm like, there are children starving to death and you're pooping on gold. Anyways, I'm like totally derailing my train here. But what I can tell you is with my strategy with podcasting and everything, I think at some point it's going to become podcasting is not going to be the platform to get in the door with, because right now, if I send a message to, and most people don't even know who I am, right? This isn't me reaching out and they're like, they know who I am. They've heard my show or anything like this. These are cold outreaches to people. If I ask them to come on my show, we have an 85% success rate of getting them to come on my show. Okay. You could literally be like, Josh, give me any name. Give me a list of 10 names. 8.5 of them will say yes. The half might say like maybe or something. I don't know. Right? 8.5 of them will say yes. What's really, really interesting is none of the successful ones ever ask me how many people listen to my show. Not a one. We have clients who've literally had like one person listening to their show and they've been able to get billionaires on their show. That's what I could say. And I'd love to hear Sia's kind of feedback on this too, is like, I've seen this over and over again with podcasting, is that right now, and I still think for the next few years, it's going to be the platform that does that, but there's always a platform that you can use to interview somebody and break that trust barrier, because interviewing them, you're immediately gaining that rapport and that friendship. So
100%. I think of podcasting, and I've always said it, it's a tool, right? So for those that are in like marketing, and I've talked to so many CMOs asking me like, well, but you're not getting 1 million views like Joe Rogan. Like, I don't want to waste my money on this. And the idea of it is this: podcasting, you're 100% right. A lot of my clients that I'll work with are in tech, and they typically are sales folks, largely because of my background. But if you think about the pandemic, when we weren't able to actually physically see each other, how else were you going to differentiate yourself from your competitors, right? If you can't physically see someone or touch someone, and no, I'm not encouraging everyone to touch people. Just don't do that without their permission, please. Don't get us canceled. But no, but that's the whole thing is, I do think podcasting is a wonderful way to, if you have existing clients, to strengthen the relationship. If you're prospecting, what a way to get someone to even pay attention to you in a different way. Because I can assure you, anyone that's trying to build a relationship with someone and you don't know who they are, and golly gee willikers on LinkedIn, for example, stop pitch slapping. I swear to God, if someone, I got pitch slapped today again, and I was like, the hell, dude, like what the hell, dude? And if you don't show the value of what you can bring to them, they're not going to want to talk to you or spend time with you. But if you use that podcast as a way to say, hey, I'm not trying to sell you nothing. I just would like to get to know you. What's your story, Morning Glory? Right?
Yep.
You appeal to that side of them. People will talk to you. Will they buy from you immediately? Probably not. But guess what? Maybe their competitor or maybe someone else will see you talking to someone that they covet and admire. And they'll say, Mike knows what he's talking about. Josh knows what he's talking about. I'm going to start working with them. I'm going to reach out to them. It's a long game, peoples.
Can I add one thing to what you're saying too, Sia? Because this is so brilliant. I love that you brought this up. What people don't understand is that in entrepreneurship, it's not networking. Networking, like people are saying, your network is your net worth, right? Baloney. It's your relationships. It's like true relationships. Who have you built friendships with? And then this is what's so funny is that people, as entrepreneurs, we're always like scared to ask for what we want. I'm going to ask you guys right now for what I want. I want to fill my program right now. I have a new mastermind that I'm launching. I will literally give you a 15% commission if you will send me a referral. You can message me on LinkedIn. Okay, message me and say, hey, I want to send somebody your way if they're looking to add 50 to 100 new leads to their business this month. Just send me a message, okay, on LinkedIn. I will happily kick you guys a commission. You see how easy that was? I'm like genuinely asking you guys. Like, if you'll send me one, I will send you money. But this is what's so interesting. If I'm sitting across the table from a billionaire, and like just to solidify your point here, like I just want to testify your point here, Sia, is like there's only one thing you ever have to ask after you've met somebody. Ask for what you want.
100%.
Literally, what I always tell people is like, at the end of it, just say, I'm trying to fill my program. I want to fill 2 more seats from your network. Who do you know who needs help with this, right? They need more leads in their business this month. Would you be willing to send them my way? Who doesn't need more leads in their business? First off, that's like a no-brainer, right? But that could literally be any offer. Who doesn't need to start a podcast? After watching this, go hire Sia. Good golly. Mike, I don't even know what you sell, man. I really need to know what you sell. I just pitched you right there. Ask for what you want.
Yeah.
I still hooked.
I think we've all actually have had experiences speaking with, I actually have not talked to a billionaire. And if I did, they didn't tell me about it. Damn it, Janet. But I have worked with extraordinarily successful people, right? And I've talked to them, and there is this directness, but at the same time, there is a desire to help. I don't know of any true quote millionaire, or the way I view it is this: entrepreneurs that have truly achieved that level of quote success are the most humble people out there. Sure, they might be direct. Sure, they might be a little curt as far as like, dude, because their time is very, very valuable. But I will say they have all been people that said, what can I do to help you? I see that you're struggling here. What is it that you have, need, want, etc.? And if it's something that they see value and they want to coach or mentor you or give advisement to you and maybe say, hey, you know what? I want you to talk to so-and-so and let them mentor you because obviously they're busy and whatnot. Take advantage of that opportunity. It's okay to be vulnerable in front of those types of people because they're the ones that can see that you're willing to learn, that you're open to being vulnerable to learn to get where you need to go. And that was the hardest lesson for me when I first left or started in my entrepreneur path is I was afraid I'd look like an idiot. Not the imposter syndrome. I don't have that. I just didn't want them to think I was an idiot. Like, does that make sense? Like, so, now every single person I talk to, I'm like, yeah, I do poop. Thank you very much for asking. And it was a good one this morning. And I swear to God, everyone's normal after that. It's a normal conversation after that.
What?
Hey, and if that don't work, get some bran flakes. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm not going to go on the tangent here. Well, what's so cool about that too is like where I've done some levels of success. When people as new entrepreneurs come to me and they try to formulate these really like they think it's an in-depth question that's going to make me answer. I'm going to tell them an answer that's going to change their world. It's almost annoying because I'm like, guys, if you want to know how I've been successful, go listen to anything that I do. It's the same thing with anybody else who's been successful. I talk about this all day. I'm not hiding something from you, right? Nobody who's successful is, see it. You're not hiding anything, right? Mike's not hiding anything. It's all out there. What it really impresses me is when somebody comes to me and they genuinely ask for what they want. And they don't try to shove it down my throat. They're like, hey, give me a referral. They're like, Josh, I'm doing something really big. I'm not going to try and pitch you on this, but I'm looking for people like this. Do you know somebody like that who fits that docket that I can have as a client? Like that, to me, it impresses me so much more because I know that they're humble enough to ask for what they want, to your point, right? They're saying, you know what? I'm coachable. That person, I might even give a whole bunch of referrals to. I might give them free stuff. I might work with them because I know they're coachable, instead of the person who's like trying to like posture themselves. And this is really hard. Everybody has like a different reason why. Like for me, it was my age. I was always feeling like I had to posture for people when it's like, dude, I'm scared AF in business, right? It's hard. Business is really hard, but you can make it a lot easier, right? But just helping people see like, hey, I'm not perfect. I'm not in the best place ever, you know, like it helps people feel like you're real. And if you're humble and coachable, people will give you way more than you'd think. I get free coaching all the time from my show.
Love it.
Anyways, yeah.
Okay, speaking of which, can I just say,
What?
do you ever feel like you're getting like free master classes at times, or like, yes, that's why I podcast, you guys, because I'm getting free information that people pay thousands of dollars for. That's another thing I didn't think about podcasting.
Yes. I have an MBA. I did my master's degree. I've done my bachelor's degree. I've learned more from interviewing successful people than any of those degrees could have taught me. Because all I do is ask. If I'm like genuinely curious, I'll tell them my scenario. I'm like, hey, right now I'm having this problem with this employee and they're not getting as productive as they need to be. And I'll ask them, how would you fix this problem? They're like, oh, do this, this, and this. Bam. I'm like, I would have had to pay you $50,000 to get that opinion. I just got it for free.
Yes. Amazing.
I love that. So you hit a good point there.
It's a secret that we probably shouldn't tell.
Oh yeah. It's like,
no,
don't podcast. Quit competing with us.
I'm glad it's not just me, because I had made that comment behind stage. I'm like, dude, do these people realize they're giving me like all this free stuff? I started saying something smart the other day. I'm like, damn, that sounds like Gail or wow, I'm learning a lot of stuff, man. I get up in the morning, early, like it's rubbing off. And winners, that's what this is about. That's why I love you two here talking about this, because not everybody's on their way or comfortable with forging a business or trying something new. And they think they're weirdos because it's hard, or they feel out of whack, or they feel imposter syndrome. But real quick, before we get to this question, Josh, you hit the nail on the head, man. You said, ask who. Dude, I've learned that secret a long time ago, and it has never failed. Who do you know? Not how, not what can you give me? Who could help or be excited about this idea, this project? Dude, that you just spray gold nugget everywhere with that one, man, because that is key. And you're sitting here successful, see it successful, and you're giving this away, man. I hope people are taking notes. I love this. So let me ask, Stephen, how do you pronounce that name, y'all? Because y'all know I can't read. What is
Boucher?
Boucher? Okay. Stephen asked
Boucher?
I know, forgive me. I mean, I'm wearing a camo hat, I'm in a tree. So how do you all get your guests to share the podcast? Boy, that is wow. We should have a QR code to pay for that advice first. But hey, how do you? So who wants to take this one?
Sia, can you take this one first? I want to hear your opinion on it.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay, ready?
Blast.
I'm going to say in the nicest way. Don't always think getting that billionaire guest is going to be that big get for your show, because the odds are high of the value that you bring to them versus the value they bring to you is not equitable if you're not in that same peer group. If you're not Joe Rogan, okay, don't expect Joe Rogan to support and promote your show. It's just not that way. Unfortunately, in that context, for me, I think if you're going to find the right guest for you that's going to really grow your audience and maybe expand the audience and the way that you want to, is find someone that has mutual interests with you, that values you. So yeah, it's great to get a billionaire every now and then. That's great, right? So, got to interview the chairman of United, chairman of the board for United Airlines. great. But what does it mean, right? Because again, just think about this, okay? If you are looking to bring guests in order for the strict purpose of growing an audience and whatnot, you could do that. But my personal take is find the right guests that's right for your audience, that's right for their interest level, and the guests will typically reciprocate. But I hate to say it, peoples, don't demand it or expect it because the odds are high they often don't. That's been my experience.
Ooh. I was gonna say my answer to that question, see, that's so awesome. Like you nailed it. Is like, don't try to get them to promote. They're not gonna do it. If you ask me to promote your show right now, I'm like, Mike's even gonna see this. I don't promote. Very rarely will I promote because I've got a full promo schedule, right? Mike, I'll promote for you just because we're friends. But it very rarely ever helps either. Like we've seen this too. Like you're saying, see, is like somebody who's a billionaire versus somebody who has 100 connections. There's almost no difference in growth on the show. Do you guys know who Sean Whalen is?
Yeah.
Lions Not Sheep. Okay, he's a buddy of mine. We're doing a partnership. He came on my show the other day. We're partnering up on his company Jadari, which, by the way, if you're a coach, go check that software out. It's freaking brilliant. But I'm not getting paid to say that. Freaking Sean. Anyways, what's so interesting though is that this guy has billions with a B of people viewing his videos. Okay, having him on my show, you want to know how many more listeners that got than the next episode? Maybe 5, maybe 10 more individuals. It's not as much as you'd think. What I can tell you guys is, like, truthfully, if you want to grow a podcast, be willing to spend money, pay to grow it, or pay someone like Sia to actually really like level up the production of it. Right. But I think this actually brings up a really interesting conversation. You kind of touched on this too, Sia, is like, everybody's always looking at like Joe Rogan as an example, right? I hate when people do that. Joe Rogan had a hugely successful business before he was a podcaster.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? He had a following of hundreds of millions of people already. He just launched a podcast and it got followers. And yeah, don't get me wrong. He has really good production value. He's very controversial. You either love him or you hate him. But he'd even tell you, I've worked with people on his team. They're like, no, he buys his way up, right? Because for him, he knew if I can get millions of people watching this, I can get sponsorship dollars. Starting from scratch. I'm not saying you can't do it. Just don't make it a key part of your strategy because it takes years to get millions of people listening to your show with active effort or a ridiculous amount of budget behind you. If you have an extra $1 million to spend, please don't spend on a podcast, guys. Go make some real money.
Okay.
Make way more money somewhere else.
So let us clarify, because I think this is where I think there's a false assumption of like, everyone's got you get a podcast and you get a podcast. Okay, look, if anything has proven, just because you have a podcast, it may or may not be successful for you. Case in point, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, right? They had archetypes. What did that do for them? If anything, I think it hurt their brand more than anything because they couldn't deliver it. They effectively leveraged a platform that could have been wonderful, but the execution or vision, I don't know what the heck it was, just wasn't happening. And this is where you guys have to really think about podcasting, because I have so many people coming up to me and they're like, I want to start a podcast. And I'm like, okay, wonderful. Why are you doing this? Because I have people that are like, well, I got to make money off of it. I plan on quitting my job and doing this podcast. And I'm like, well, first off, hopefully you have a great savings and investments that you can actually do that. And secondly, but why? Who are you talking to? Oh, I just want to do it because me and my girlfriends want to drink wine together. That's not a why, people. So yeah. Yes. Yes.
Oh no. Let me cut in on that because, by the way, Rena Freeman Watts.
Ooh, Rena.
Man,
Hey, I know Rena. You came on my show.
We love Rena.
The one and only.
Rena got here on the Hounds before for Josh, so you could put that on your refrigerator, Rena.
Oh,
you beat Josh to it. She was a
Rena's
Hound.
boss.
Yeah. So hey, I love this point. And I've had some people actually message me about what y'all just talked about. The whole Joe Rogan thing. I mean, I'm always talking about it because I don't know anything about podcasting, but that's the guy, right? I've seen him on Fear Factor and he's funny as hell. And especially when he did his bit about David Spade. Remember he did his bit about David Spade? Oh, anyway, I'm going to go get in trouble. But it's like that here because like Susie Orman, she don't need a strategy on LinkedIn. She's Susie freaking Orman, guys. Like, like, oh, I can't beat Susie. I have to try really, really hard and almost maybe catch her, but she's not even paying attention because she's Susie Orman, right? She's got the notoriety already there. So I love the fact that you all are putting this in perspective. Like, don't don't get caught up in the clouds here. You can do it, just not that way. Like, well, they do it. Yeah, but they have a 20-year record and they have other things, books and, businesses and all these things. So compete, but don't compare. That's my 2 cents. Um, what do you all think about let me give this. First of all, you all kind of serve different. Oh, is there a question? Yeah, go throw I love questions, audience questions. That's why they're here. They ain't here to hear me ramble. They're here to learn about these cats. So, Josh, Michelle Murray, she also has built a business. Instead of just hanging out on the beach, she got bored. Now she's doing copywriting and stuff. So, it's like you just can't just go fishing every day. So the question is, uh, who was your most interesting podcast interview?
Oh, that's a good. I'm glad I read that for a second because that really, I'm like, I've had so many really intriguing ones.
Say.
Let me tell you 2. Can I give 2? Is that okay? I'll be really quick with that.
1.5, 1.5, 1.75, 1.75, sir.
She's like, shut up, Josh, you're hogging the mic.
Please.
Just so you guys
you're
know,
shy.
You're keeping me from dinner. So, I mean, I'm gonna take as much time as I want here. I'm just kidding. So, okay, the first one, okay, most boring interview I think I've ever done. I will not tell you his name because it embarrassed him. Most boring interview ever. The guy said nothing. We talked for half an hour and I was like, dude, you literally didn't say anything. And then after the conversation, turns out this guy makes $100 million a year, $100 million by himself. Okay. In all the most boring ways possible. He has a mini manufacturing company. He has this little car dealership and all this $100 million. Right. I was like, what the flip? I had him back on later. One of the best interviews I ever done because I was like, tell us about that, right? Because he was talking about some book he was writing. So I was like, dude, this is the most boring interview ever. Anyways, that was really interesting. You said the word interesting, so I'm gonna stick to that one. The second one, I had this lady on, and again, really boring interview at first until we get about halfway through, and I was like, I actually stopped the recording and I was like, can we let's stand up, let's elevate the mood. I would if I'm falling asleep, my audience is lost, right?
Oh yeah.
And we I was like, what has got you excited? And she's like, Josh, so this is an SEO lady. Okay. She does search engine optimization, marketing person. I would say it's probably the most boring aspect of marketing is SEO. And they'll even tell you that. Right. And so she's kind of like the engineer type. She then tells me, Josh, I just bought an alpaca farm. You know what alpacas are? They're llamas and they're freaking adorable. My in-laws have a farm right across the street from them of alpacas and they're adorable. Anyways, but she's like, I built this alpaca farm and within 6 months, we've made $500,000 with alpaca. I was like, why the freak are we talking SEO? Let's talk that. So we restarted recording, restarted the entire interview. I'll have to find, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but it was a really interesting interview. And we talked about how she took SEO and implemented it into something that truthfully is just random. Right? People don't go onto podcasts to talk about an alpaca farm, but that was super fun.
Those are awesome.
Interesting stories, huh?
Interesting. If I may give one tip on this too, for those that are recording, and I don't know what it is, and we've done tons of hours of recording and talking to people, and everyone that's listening right now, whether you know it or recognize it or not, every single time you do a one-on-one Zoom call to introduce yourself to each other on LinkedIn and whatnot, that is literally a podcast in the context of you're learning about each other, you're having a great conversation. And how many times have you had really good connections at the end of it where you both look at each other and say, damn, we should have recorded that. That would have been fun. That would have been awesome. And I think that's the thing about podcasting is you refine your conversational skills. The most interesting podcasts, I think, are the ones that are natural, free flowing, may or may not be always steady with their topic. I'm okay with divergence and maybe coming back every now and then because that's what a natural conversational flow is. And I think with our minds, especially for multitasking while we're listening to podcasts, we're meandering with them. And I think that's what makes it engaging for the interview style podcasts. There's also different other types of podcasts we haven't even discussed, Josh, that you and I we could definitely talk about. But, for those that are looking at business, there was a question that was asked, Raquel, if you don't mind pulling that one up, which was from Lonnie is, who here has found podcasts to truly grow their business? It depends on what your metrics are. Okay. So with every single client, I always ask them, why you're doing it first off, right? Who are you talking to? And then what are your KPIs? What are your true key performance indicators that you are going to hold yourself to, that's reasonable, that's tangible, that is going to be something from a business perspective, make business sense. So, in this context, truly grow your business. Sometimes it's something that is intangible. Like, I really just want more visibility, credibility, right? I want to build a community. So sometimes it's a little bit more wishy-washy, where a lot of CMOs will come to me and saying, dude, if I'm going to drop thousands of dollars on this, tens of thousands of dollars for this, I need to have some kind of results. That's where we can help explain. It will help grow your business in different ways. It's not always going to be a lead gen thing, guys. This is not going to be, oh, I got 100 white papers downloaded, or, oh, I just got 100, underwater basket for toilet holders sold for that month. It's not necessarily going to be something like that. So I strongly encourage you to really look at, podcasting as a way to help support those other marketing initiatives.
Yeah.
What y'all both said there, man, is the alpaca thing. Like we were talking about that backstage, where I had all those speakers that were like, pretty well-known speakers, public speakers. And what do they talk about on the Hounds? Falling off stage, calling out the wrong city, right? And that's what people want to hear about. They don't want to hear about blah, 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 blah. They want to hear about, oh, you did that? Oh, so next time I fall off stage, that's okay, right? Because I'm not at Mercer doing it, right? So what based on that, well, you had something to say. There's a delay on here, so if you want to piggyback off that, Josh, go ahead, man.
I'd actually love to, because Sia, you made such a solid point on that. I think what people tend to forget is that people want real. You don't need to have a nice studio setup. One of the top podcasts on the planet is recorded from a phone. It's just phone calls. Okay. And what I can tell you guys is that there's been a real shift in the industry with podcasting in particular. Is people don't want long form; they want short form content, and that might change. But what I can tell you guys is you're looking for impactful. I mean, Mike, you call them nuggets, right? Like the nuggets. That's what we're looking for. If you have any of you ever actually fully listened to a Joe Rogan episode?
I have, because I had to drive from Texas to Colorado for my niece's graduation. So yes, I have.
Okay, so there's one. Have you listened to 10 full episodes for him ever? Please don't say yes. You're going to debunk my point.
I know. No, I actually know I haven't. I haven't. Actually,
I'm teasing. Go ahead.
But right there with you though, with the advent of the real big push from social media platforms to short content, like under a minute for YouTube, for example, and TikTok and all that, I don't think long form content is going to have that, like you say, sustainable audience. We're talking for over an hour, you guys. So like, I'm shocked we're still here.
And some of you will come live to this. I'm surprised you guys are still listening. You're probably like, guys, get off of here, goodness sakes. But see, I'm just messing with you. You can totally debunk my point if you want.
No, I'm not.
What I can tell you though is, if you go watch Joe Rogan, I'm just going to use him as an example because everybody knows him. The content of his that gets the most views is actually his shorts. And all he does is pull like hyper controversial snippets from his conversation. And there's a really easy way to do this. I just want to, for a lot of you, I don't know how legal this is. Hopefully this is legal. If not, sorry guys, ask your lawyer, I guess. What we'll do, there's an app called OBS that you can use on your computer. Okay. It's a screen recording software. It's a little bit advanced, but you can literally be recording everything that you're doing on your computer, all the audio in and out and everything. So even before you hit record, so if you're like recording on, like we're on Restream here, or if you're on like, StreamYard or wherever you guys are recording your crap, right? Zoom, it can be recording already. And what I will do is I'll tell them, hey, I record everything that we're doing. We had a really dang good snippet that we talked about at the beginning. Can I add that into the episode? And that's how we get around it a lot of times, because I'll be honest with you, like when you turn the camera on, most people get really nervous because when you go live. I've done this enough times that I don't really care if I stumble or make mistakes. Sometimes it embarrasses me, but I was hoping Mike would get me really embarrassed at least once today, but we'll see. I
was trying to behave. I could have. I mean,
why?
I can if you want me to. I don't want you
Let's
to walk away
let's be
feeling like
careful.
unloved.
There'll be no conversations about my wife. That's all I gotta say. You can make your
No.
mom
well,
jokes all day, but she's off limits.
No. I was gonna say
Hey,
he said dadgummit. Everyone take a sip.
oh,
Oh.
well, about time. Everybody died of thirst.
I'm
So,
gonna have to pee myself if we keep doing this for hours, guys.
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Josh builds businesses, helps people do podcasts. He likes milk and he giggles. There you go. That's your
me in a
bio. That's your
nutshell.
stage bio right there. I'm going to send you an invoice for that. Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
Dude, hey, I think I love what you guys are on, the short form content. I made a comment with Sia does another like a little bitty, 15-minute live stream with Sia and Ben. And I joked because it took 14 minutes. The thing was awesome. I loved it. It was done. And I said, your whole show is shorter than my damn intro. You've seen it, right? So, like, I think people don't have attention spans like Nats. So, if someone's just getting started, this question to both of you, I'm gonna put Josh in the hot seat because he likes to throw you in there. See ya. He's a pro, right? Y'all both. I love this. I love the dynamic. So, if someone doesn't know anything, they just want to try. They think maybe it would be fun. What the hell? What would you give someone that just heard this, watched, been watching us, listening to you guys, and they're like, I might give this a whirl. This is a podcast, or just play with it. What's the first step they could take? Simple, practical step, Josh.
I'm gonna tell you a first step not to do, because that's a really great question. When anybody tries to get on YouTube or a podcast or something, the first thing they do is they try to make their studio look amazing, and they try to they practice. The worst thing you can do when you're going into the podcasting space is to sit down and try and record a solo cast, or like sit in front of a camera and do YouTube video. It will take you like 10 hours to record a 2-minute video. Okay. I really wish I had done this. The first video I ever did was back in like 2012 when I was trying to sell something. Literally 2-minute sales video. It took me over 10 hours to record the thing, of thousands of takes. And I was like, gosh, I just suck so bad. And it still came out awkward as I'll get out. But the reason why I say don't do that first is because what happens is when you do that, you're giving yourself an out, and you're not giving yourself the grace to make mistakes. I believe that the first thing that you should do is interview somebody. Interview somebody first so that you can get used to asking questions. And then when you start formulating your own opinions, then go try to go live, just sharing your opinions. Okay. Because you can't go back on live. Like, it's like we're doing here. I can't be like, oh shoot, I said, and I have to start over again. Nobody cares. I mean, how many times have I said, on this? Probably 5,000. One of you is sitting here counting going, yeah. And I'm going to go count dollars all the way to the bank while you count those ums. That's what I tell people. Anyway, so
go
ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah. We got to work on your shyness, Josh. You need some confidence skills. Maybe get confidence. I love it though. Keep going, man. I'm enjoying this. Y'all see me. I'm just laid back like I'm in a recliner. This is what it's about, man. Be you. Does everybody like you, Josh? Does everybody who meets you says, "Oh, that guy's wonderful"?
Maybe, I don't know. Some people might hate me.
Okay, I'm gonna say maybe 2 out of 8 billion in the play, but it doesn't phase you. You just keep on rolling, man. You just do what you do because you love what you do. You're good at what you do, and you probably wasn't good at it until you just determined to get good at it. And that's the message and takeaway I want people to get. So, see, what did
I touch on one quick point there that you said, Mike? Though you can't, if I interrupt you, just as a humanizing point.
Oh, go ahead.
I will tell you, there's nights where I will stay up like agonizing over someone's opinion of me. Okay, that never changes. And sometimes it's super stupid. Like I had one, there's a client that she paid us like $5,000 like 4 years ago, and I have probably done $45,000 of free work for her. Ugh. Right. And she came and was like just bashing my integrity. And luckily I have a good coach who helped me kind of shut that relationship down. But I can't tell you guys, weeks of like so concerned about this woman's opinion. I love this woman. She's amazing. But it was like, so I just want to help you realize, like, people might hate me because sometimes I don't give them everything they want, even though I'm literally giving them everything. Right. So I wanted to throw that in as a point, because you say like, hey, it rolls off the shoulder. It does, but there's still moments where you're like, oh, why does that hurt so bad? I hate that.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that that honesty. I mean, C is the toughest I've ever seen. But she's human. She's not a damn robot. And I mean, I've had the same
Despite what
thing.
Mike
Like,
says, I am not a robot. I am not a robot.
you're a bro, but you're not a robot. She's definitely yeah. And then she anyway, we'll talk about that later. But um here's how I frame it, Josh, and I want Sia's opinion. I said, it's not that I don't people say I don't care what people think. I don't believe that. I do care. Here's what I care about though. I don't care about everybody thinks. So if Mother Teresa was to walk around back in the day and say, that redneck's a real asshole, that would bother me, dude. Cause I think, a lady like that, I care what she thinks because my character might be out of whack. I might be, robbing old ladies or something like that's what I take that as. Maybe I should double check myself. But like if Jeffrey Dahmer said, I'm like, whatever, dude, I don't eat people. I have nothing in common with you. And I know those are extreme funny
Oh my
cases, but
God.
like, I don't eat people. What the hell do I care? So, yeah. So that's how I frame it, Josh. But you're right. I had the same thing. I had somebody I respected who's changed my life that just kind of got mad cow, and it really did a number on me for a while until I just kind of shook it off a little bit, talked to other people to help coach me into perspective. So I love the fact that you're saying that everything out there that all these people deal with, when you're successful, you still deal with it, man. It doesn't change. We're still people. Sia,
Yeah.
what's your 3 cents here?
Yeah, okay, so a couple points here. So one of which is the people that matter to you, right? They will typically support you no matter what, right? And it's when those people that are close to you that suddenly give you the feedback that you need to hear, that's when you pay attention. Everybody else can basically go, pound sand as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about it. If you're going to put yourself up there, you create content. Everyone is, they're talking about LinkedIn being so much more of a social, and I embrace that. We need to humanize our working relationships. I do believe very firmly you're going to get trolls. Trolls exist. They have a sad existence in life. They're hurting. Their souls are hurting, but it's no skin off your back because in the grand scheme of life, the people that truly matter will always have your back to some degree because my family sucks. So if anyone's expecting when you launch a podcast that your family's gonna be your first followers, I promise you they will not be. So just throwing that out there.
That is like so freaking true.
Your family
Yeah.
will not be your supporters, people. Just throwing that up there right now. So don't get. 'Cause I
No.
got out of whack the first time because I'm like, "What the f, people? Like the damn podcast, please." And they're like, "What podcast?" I'm like, "Oh my god, never mind."
Hey, they say, "Who would put you on a live stream?" I said, "Me. I put my damn self out there." Like, yeah, like,
Exactly. Oh no, I've got family. They're like, "Wow, are you that much of a narcissist that you're putting yourself up there?" I'm like, yeah, and people pay
Right.
me. Yeah, you're welcome. So, okay, but to go back to your original question, and shockingly, my ADHD has allowed me to go back, but I do want to answer this question. For those that are starting out with podcasting, my number one thing, and I was so glad, Josh, that you said this, go with what you have in your own setup. If it's your cell phone, go with your cell phone. And the reason why I say that is because don't waste money needlessly, because what it does is it creates resentment for the medium. And that's the one thing we don't want as people that produce for the people that strategize and consult for our clients. That's the last thing we ever want you to do. Don't spend thousands of dollars because it's a new shiny toy for you to play with. And then literally, you guys, statistically speaking, they say after 7 episodes, people disappear. They stop their podcast. It's called pod fade. And that's what we don't want you to do. That's not the right way to go about it. So don't invest in like thousands of dollars of equipment. Don't buy and download all these amazing hard ass tools. OBS Studio is great, but honestly, even then, have you seen Mike work his laptop, Josh? You don't want to introduce OBS into Mike's life. It will like his brain will implode.
That was probably too
It's
advanced
like
for Tactic. I'm sorry.
it's like showing a medieval guy an airplane, dude. Don't don't do
Yeah,
it.
he's like, what is this? What
Yeah.
Sia, that was so good. Sorry, I was like looking at 4 names at once. Sia. Late, okay. I never worked this late. One of the points I think that you made that was so good is the tech size. Like what do you have in front of you? We just did an event down in Orem, Utah. So we flew a bunch of people in. There was 10 guests, 10 hosts. And there was basically a round robin interview. So everybody was getting 10 interviews with each other. So it ended up being like hundreds of, is that 100 pieces of content? Wow, math is hard. Anyways, a lot of content was recorded. We spent probably 4 or 5 days with 4 of us testing camera equipment, trying to get this all in place, but to be portable because we're not down there. So we had to like transport all this gear. We have the cameras, we have all this stuff. You want to know the equipment we end up using? Friggin' iPhones. If you have the iPhone Pro, that camera is better than 90% of the cameras you can buy for recording podcasts in particular. And then AirPods. If you have AirPods, those things, the mics in those are almost as good as these. It's interesting. Yes, you can level up your game. Sia's like cringing over there. It's not as good, Josh. But
no, I'm anti-Apple, but I agree with the sentiment.
Well, so Samsung, it doesn't even matter what device, right? Any device that has like 99% of the US population, and I know there's a global audience, but most of the US population have the newest cell phone in their pocket or within 2 generations of their pocket. If you have as old as the iPhone 7, which would be the Samsung what? Work with me, Sia.
4, something like that, or
Galaxy
something.
4,
6,
probably.
Galaxy 6, 4, 3,
From
2, 1.
then on, your camera is all you need.
Yeah.
Because they're all 4K cameras.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's not going to be the number one first thing you like the best camera you could ever get, right? But it's dang good quality.
Heck yeah. There have been times where I felt my phone was better than the webcams and DSLRs and all that stuff. I'm like, you know what, dude? I don't got to carry all that equipment, all that cabling, all that. Like, yeah, no, 100%. We actually did a recording at CES, and we had our microphones. We were carrying that around, and we ended up just saying, you know what, screw it. We got tired of carrying it. It's heavy after a while, people. So we actually ended up just taking our Zoom H4s, H6, and we're like, screw it, we'll just do this. And the audio quality of that, I ended up, because I didn't trust my phone audio because I didn't have lavaliers or anything like that. So I just used my phone videoed, and then we just had the H4s and we just talked to each other back and forth and call it a day. And it was great. And it was amazing how it actually took out the sound of the conference, but it was a nice enough hum. I mean, the quality is there, you guys. But again, we just mentioned a lot of equipment you don't need yet. Don't need it.
None of it.
Yeah.
You do need a phone.
You just have to wipe the barbecue sauce off of the camera lens if you're a southern or a woman down here. So just make sure you get all your fingerprints off the daggum
phone over there, man. He's like pulling out his Motorola Razr and like turning it around to take video, right?
Oh no, we weren't kidding.
Well, that's my daughter. My daughter, she just kept messing up all the phones. I'm like, you're going to be back on like what was that big block? The Nokia S. Like she's going to have a ham radio phone before it's over with, dude. Like analog.
So, walkie-talkie.
Hey, real quick.
Hey,
I'm sorry. I just want to answer Rena's question here. Do you use any AI apps to create short clips, from clips? I actually don't. I personally don't. I know a lot of people do. I don't use AI for that, largely because I'm very anal about the video that I put together for my clients. So yes, you can do it. Yes, it can be done quickly. I just don't personally. I'm very picky, and it's probably, I'll probably have to suck it up at one point because they are effective. But I don't currently. So I was going to ask you, Josh, if you guys do with your videos, like, do you guys
not for, so one thing you can do, because I'm with you. AI is great. I love using ChatGPT. I literally wrote 2 SOPs for my team in under 4 minutes. It was the greatest thing ever, right? Glorious, right? 14-page documents in like 2 minutes. It was great. For creating creative content, I have yet to find a tool that I really have fallen in love with from a video side. From a written side, CapShow is a really, really awesome tool. Good friends of mine, it basically takes your audio and it'll do transcripts, it'll write blog posts, it'll write social content. You still need to tool it so that it's got, it gets you about 85% of the way there. But it saves you a lot of time. But if you want a quick tip, if you're like, man, it's just hard, I don't want to have to listen to my whole episode to find that snippet. You can use a tool like Riverside, or just be old school like me. And I always have like a notepad here. Whenever I'm interviewing somebody, I use Riverside now, but Riverside, you can literally mark it. Anytime somebody says something good, you go, ooh, and you just put a mark, and then it'll make a clip for you. And you can go in and get a bigger clip or a smaller clip. Or if you're old school like me, literally all you have to do is just know what time you start at and say, right about 7 minutes, there was a good spot, right?
That's what I do too.
Yeah, I think people way overthink it. I don't think you need AI to solve all your problems on this. There are great companies for this, though. I mean, I don't know if your company does that, but
yes, we do.
Companies can do snippets, right?
Yes, we do. Yeah, but like I said, we really we really focus on truly customizing it. The thing, I think you're right. These tools, AI tools, are great. It'll get you like 85% there. I don't think it's an end all be all. I see a lot of people doing it, and I get it. We're going into a recession. We're in a recession. You know, everyone's trying to like, you know, like tighten their belts and whatnot. The thing I always offer to my clients is this: like, what is your branding, right? If your branding is like a little on the snarkier side, so like if you're like Wendy's and you got like a roasting day, like ride that wave out, right? So maybe your content can be a little bit more choppier. Gary Vaynerchuk, right? Gary V. I can't tell you how much his audio freaks me out because he like runs around with his cell phone in the middle of the airport and you can barely hear what he's saying. He's dropping F bombs, and I'm like, I can't hear you. It freaks me out. Like it just does. But Gary V's branding is that frenetic energy that let's go, let's, you know, conquer the world. But if you're a lawyer or you're in the legal field, you can't have that that level of freneticism. I mean, is that going to be the right branding for you? And that's where I kind of like talk to clients about, okay, let's see what really is that what you need.
Yeah.
And that's what your output is. And that's where I kind of like coach people on, because I'm okay. If you can't afford our services, that's fine. My service and what we all do with our consulting and like growing lead gen and like helping our clients understand, you could monetize, not directly necessarily with direct sponsorship, but you can monetize this content in a way that's going to attract attention. But you just got to really be intentional. Oh my God. Where was Todd Blylevin was here earlier. I couldn't speak English yesterday. Apparently it's carrying through to today. You got to understand what your branding is. If it's on message, then you can go ahead with that kind of like, you know, experimenting with stuff. It's just, we're a convenience. You're paying for the convenience for our expertise. So you can offload it to focus your business on other things. That's it.
Love it. So good.
So that's the answer. Sorry. It's going on my own little horn there.
That's awesome.
Mike.
Oh, if I unmute myself, it works. The mic works when you turn it on. Imagine that. See, this is why I was intimidated to talk to you super pros. Man, dude, I can't even. Yeah, that's the one I wanted to see. New phones will tell you to clean the lens. Well, again, I have a tin can of string still out here, man, so I wouldn't know. So, hey, you guys, man, we have hundreds of viewers watching this thing, man, hundreds, if not more. People watch it. Hundreds more will watch it later. Lots of people love this, man. They want to hear about it. They got to know you on a personal and professional level. They got a lot of stuff for themselves because let's be honest, that's what the hell we're here for is free info that help us. So on that note, Josh, I'll start with you. So somebody is wanting to do it. We talked about pick up your phone and the material parts of just doing it. But what about the mental? What about the confidence? What about all that stuff that's actually going to get somebody to say, what the hell? I'm going to call somebody or interview somebody. What would you say to somebody who may be too scared or has been too scared to take that first step, man?
Well, let me just tell you this, and Emmanuel, I think you're the one who put the question there, so I appreciate you asking this question. This is actually very close to my heart because it may not seem like it. I'm an introvert. If you invite me to a party, I am the guy in the corner. I will have one-on-one conversations for days. But like, I don't even really love speaking on stage. I get to do it a lot, but I'd rather do this because I love that you guys are listening to this, but I don't see your faces constantly the entire time, making me nervous. But Emmanuel, what I can tell you is first and foremost is it takes a lot of practice. It is not going to be easy. We with our clients, when people come into our world and we're like, hey, you know, start using this as a business tool, generate some leads with this, start making money. That's all fine and dandy, but it's scary. Truthfully, it's scary to get on camera because it's very revealing, right? If you have a zit, the world sees it, right? I actually still have the scars. I went out, my wife and I went out to, we were looking at homes and there's this new neighborhood and we're walking around. I got bit by 3 mosquitoes on my head and they had some weird like disease. And for the next 4 months, this is when I was like peaking with a lot of my numbers. I had these massive red, like looks like I had like picking zits, but they were just, it was like a huge nasty infection on my head. TMI for a lot of you. But like that was the moment for me when I finally I was like, I'm so embarrassed about this, but I'm like, I'm not going to wear a hat. I'm going to let it fly. And I just started joking about it. I told probably 50 different stories. You guys are like probably the first ones to know the actual truth behind that story. But I started to lean into it. And it was funny because my numbers didn't drop. Nobody even made a single comment about it unless I did. And that was like such an interesting moment for me to realize, okay, I can do this. Like people aren't going to beat up on me. As a woman, so if you are a woman, just know that the haters are going to come out of the woodwork a lot more for you. What I want you to realize, and I'm just going to say this, yeah, you've probably seen this too, Sia, is like, I have clients that like, they'll send me some of the comments that people say. I'm just like, it tears me up. I want to go fight that person for my clients. Cause I'm like, get out of their face. But that's the thing is like, first and foremost, know that for every hater that you have, there's communities like ours, like, see, I mean, you can come here to this live stream, share that with you, and like everybody will help boost you up and help build you up, because having that circle of people to help you realize like you are extremely worth it and the content you're sharing is so important, screw them. That's all I got to say. Right. And like, and when you start to build an audience, you'll start to see that your fans will start to actually fight back for you. That's fun.
You're nice. You're giving a real nice answer. Like,
yeah, it is.
Like, let me share something a little about my perspective on this. All right. So I am not an introvert. I am not an introvert, but I will say this much. Something that I've learned in life, and I think all of us have learned this in life, is that the world isn't about you. Okay. And when I say this, and this is Mike's gonna be like, uh-oh, she's going to her tech to CEO mode. But the truth of the matter is this: 99.999% of the population are in their own heads. They're worrying about their own life and challenges and problems in life. So Josh, the fact that you said you had 3 massive like meth scars on your forehead, I'm joking.
That would have been an even better one. I should have gone with that. It's like, guys, help me out here. Send me some money. It'll help me get to therapy, right?
I know. Patreon me to there. No, but the truth of the matter is, you guys, 99% of the population is so in their own SHIT that they don't even pay attention to anything that's going on with you. So just now, I literally got excited and I was readjusting myself that I knocked my own microphone over. This could have been something where I'd go, oh my God, I failed the live stream. Yeah, never mind. We had just had a wonderful conversation and you just focus on that. So the confidence to stand, 100%. Practice, 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 practice. Secondly, believe in yourself. If you just believe in yourself and you are who you are, and know if people don't like you, those people aren't your tribe. That's it. That's it, people. If you are going to build a community, it's because they want to be there, not because the trolls want to be there. The trolls are going to be there for an hour or two or whatever, and then bolt or go find another show to bother or whatever. So, yeah, 100% introvert, extrovert. I find, by the way, side note, introverts are probably one of the best conversationalists.
No.
So.
Extroverts are fun to talk to if you're an introvert because you don't have to do a whole lot of the talking. Right? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Funny story.
What are you trying to say,
dude? I'm just saying you're talking a lot. I'm just kidding. But it's funny because you bump your mic out literally. So last Thursday I was doing a webinar to sell one of our products. We had like 65 people in there. I am there to sell, right? And so obviously, like, it's about being presenting well. I was drinking out of my red Solo cups. I'm always drinking out over here. And somebody was talking and I nodded my head as I was drinking and it goes all over me. Like within 2 minutes, it's like I'm like soaking wet during this whole thing. I have found if you will use self-deprecating humor, it helps relieve the tension for you and for them. We're like, well, that was embarrassing. And then you just move on. Just like speak that it was awkward and move on. Very, very powerful. So
100%. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Look, if ain't no one going to laugh at you, with you, whatever, just laugh at yourself, because you know what? That's all you got to please in this world anyway.
Dude, I kicked the whole damn laptop off. No, like I didn't notice it because so we were out there and I'm feeling good about myself and I'm like, woo, I did good. And then right before she hit the outro, I put my big foot down, kicked not just the damn camera, but the whole. I mean, I'm in my office shed. If I'm gonna make a contest and y'all get to see what I'm actually doing in here and what it looks like. Yeah, I do the whole thing, and then I went with it like, whoa, and then the intro, the outro rolled, and I was like, nobody noticed. No, they're just, which means they either left a long time ago, or they just don't give a crap.
And there's a good point. Nobody's watching it for the first like 200 episodes anyways, so who cares?
Right. Well, they actually watched this one. Remember, the audience is fancy here.
Oh yeah, excuse me.
There's
Sorry.
yeah,
Go ahead, guys. Get back
they
to
actually
serious
watched
stuff.
it. That's funny, Josh. See, too much milk in that Dixie cup, man. I
Oh
like
man.
yellow, by the way. So
Yellow cups.
yeah,
This
I'm
is actually a
special,
really
man.
funny story. I had somebody think I was drinking, like they made me like show that it was water. I'm like, yeah, I'm Mormon, right? Like
Yeah,
Okay, that
vodka.
tells you something about how people like. I'm drinking water, and everyone's like, "That's a big glass of vodka, Sia."
Because
we
it
all know
is.
it's vodka. Come
All right.
on.
So here's what's funny about this episode. This is the one episode where I'm like, I don't want to keep them too late, and they're the ones going late. So I want to make sure this is on record. Sia, who gives me crap about going too long.
It's about me.
But
That's
hey,
why.
all jokes aside, man, the energy. Do I hear a part two? And because this energy and this knowledge, people went crazy. Like I said, lots of viewers, lots of note taking. You guys gave away some nuggets, man, how to's. So, the confidence aspect, you put realism in it, Josh. I really enjoyed you, man, because you're just a relatable dude. You love your family, you love people. You use your business as a way to help more people. Same thing, Sia. She loves people. She loves what she does. She builds a business to help more people. And I think it's a fantastic having you two here discussing these things. Uh, Final thoughts. So I'm going to leave it to you. Um, where can people find you and who can you help the most? Josh.
Yes. First and foremost, just head over to Pantheon.fm. Oh, look, wow, you guys are so dang good at these things. Look at the bottom of the screen, Pantheon.fm. Wow, I might need to hire you, Sia. This is fun.
She's great.
Who we work with primarily, guys. So we're actually doing something a little unique. I'm looking for really dang good stories. So if you have a really fun story, which everybody does, just take a look back and think about your story. So if you have a really great story and you're looking to expand your reach, right? You want to be the kind of person who's like, I want to reach more people. I'm a legacy-based entrepreneur. Go to Pantheon.fm. We can get you on one of the shows in our networks. We have a bunch of team members. I think we have 14 shows right now. Team members who will interview you. I might even end up interviewing you. But we love to interview you. It obviously can turn into business deals. It can turn into collaboration opportunities. We do a lot of big joint ventures. But if you go to Pantheon.fm, it gets you into our world. And anyways, I'd love to see you guys all there. We're looking for great people, great stories. So come our way.
Oh my gosh. Everyone keep scanning that QR code, peoples. We got like almost 20 scans.
So there you go,
guys
Josh. People are here. Imagine that, bro.
Dude, you guys are killing it. I'll come back again. This is like such I have never seen this level of engagement in a live stream like this. You guys are awesome.
Yeah. we try.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm impressed.
Hey,
it's you know why? Because I told you, man. All I wanted to do was to make friends and hopefully somebody noticed my value in my business. And when I made that decision to just go love on people, use my experiences, use my my failures to go help them not do it, they are the ones that came to me for business. They're the ones that endorse it. And now, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I told somebody today, I said, listen, my knowledge and everything that I know brought us to this level. And then one day I woke up and I didn't know shit. Like I could not go any further. Everything I knew has already been used. That's where the community aspect, man, having people like you and Sia and folks that rally around you and push each other up, use their knowledge. I can't use that. I can't use an Etch a Sketch. I think I'm kidding. And I got a daggum computer degree from 2020, from 2003. So I can fix a dot, make sure you can printer or something. But anyway, guys, I think you're fantastic. Sia, let the people know, who can you help the most and where can they find you? You got a little fancy little QR codes, don't you?
I do have a fancy QR code, and I was in the process of
There it
dadgumming
is.
taking a sip, sir.
I know. I like to mess with you, man. You've done such a good job. So you produce obviously the Hounds. You produce Raquel's Corner. You do a lot of that stuff. So you help big and small. So what do you tell us? Who do you help the most? Where can they find you?
Yeah. So you can always find me at brilliantbeammedia.com or scan the QR code, because that's what we do. But yeah, no, I help businesses. I do focus on SMB, mid-tier size enterprises. I will consult for the marketing department in leveraging digital content, whether it's video or audio, to see how well it fits into their overall marketing strategy. I will also do the production as well as social media engagement for growth, as well as management for that content. So we are not a full-blown marketing agency per se. We're more of a boutique that we will do the full-blown services for that content. So what we often end up doing is we will augment existing marketing departments and or marketing agencies, and we will just white label services. So there's a lot of things that we do kind of like behind the scenes. On top of what you see of my gorgeous face, because I got to put myself up and out there because I'm an extrovert. I'm kidding. But that being said is this. So if I can impart anyone, there was a question asked. Well, do I got to do it this way? Do I do God that way? Look, peoples, this is your paintbrush. This is your sculpture. It's a white amorphous thing in front of you. You carve out what's going to make you happy and communicate your value, that your goals, your life, your mission, who you are. Have fun with it. Do video sometimes, do audio-based podcasts. You don't got to do both. And that was to answer a question earlier. Do what makes sense for you, your business, your brand, and your time. If you're going to do something that you want to put some content out there and you can't commit to it, then that's okay. Call it a season, you guys. Look, I waited years to watch every single Westworld episode between 2-year gaps. Bridgerton, I'm waiting because it's a season. You could do a season 2 that has gaps, that if it's good and it's tight, then roll with it. Have fun with it. You got this. And by the way, it will never be perfect. No one in this universe will ever be perfect. So if you have a desire, try it. You might like it. That is my.
No, it's great, man. The energy level here, and Josh forgot he was past his bedtime. I mean, this is what it's about, y'all. Man, dadgummit. Yep, take a sip. This is fun. So here's the deal. It, oh man, Josh, love to have you back, man, brother. Anytime, anywhere. With a Nokia S phone, right?
Let's do it. Let's do it in the woods this time. Let's be on our phones in the woods. That'd be fun.
I'm in.
Hey,
not now.
Yeah, not well. I mean, it's freaking hot over here, but
yeah, no, don't do that. But hey, Josh, man, I appreciate having you here. Again, I don't take it lightly, man. You got things to do. You're a busy man. You run business. Same with Sia. She shows up, for anybody and anything, and I think that's one of the takeaways. The most successful people nowadays are likable, good ass people, right? That's the key. Now you can't give away your time willy nilly. But I love that you guys always try to make yourself available to others or even through others. So, love to have you back anytime. See ya. Obviously, it's always great. And I'm not going to just ramble a lot of nonsense. I think this was a great show. I appreciate these folks being here. Yeah, I can do it now. And listen, what is the Hounds? Well, we're going to answer that in a couple weeks. But before then, hey, drop a comment in here. Send me a message, carrier pigeon. I don't care. Just, hey, if you want to go to next level, you want to start a business, maybe you want to start a side hustle, right? But you don't have the confidence or, next level. Maybe you made your first million. You want to go to your next 2. This community has it all. We're just a group of people who are ambitious. We want to push all boats up. And, but we want to do it in relationship fashion, man. We want to deepen our relationships. We don't need to hide our dirty laundry and stuff. We're going to help each other all rise, become our best selves. That's the Hounds. There's lots of business to be made in the Hounds, but that's not the priority. The priority is to do business also while being good people. That they're not mutually exclusive. So we're going to be unveiling a lot of things, but in the meantime, message me, message one of the folks in the comments that say Hound. But we love you guys. You make this happen. I don't do this for my own good. I do this because I love feeding the energy you all bring. Y'all push me up. You do things. You introduce me to people. I 1000% appreciate you all. You make this happen. And pick me up when I'm down because I get down. All right. So we'll see you on the next one, guys. Love y'all. If you all need anything from me, send me a message. Better to go on the comments and because that's that helps me with the post. But seriously, mingle, talk to each other. People do business in the comments here, man. This is why I love it because if I had to edit myself, nobody would like it. If I did a podcast, nobody would, they'd be like, what is this? But they see all the crust right here, real time, man. So everybody will see you on the next one, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. See you, because nobody follows Central. And Josh, man, you come back anytime.
You bet,
Let's
man.
roll
Thanks
the
for having me here.
outro. My pleasure. Roll the outro. We'll see you on the next one, guys.
See ya.
Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.